Pope Francis often talks about the influence his grandmother Rosa had in his life. He still carries the words she wrote to him on the day of his priestly ordination on a little piece of paper tucked in his breviary. He said he reads them often, adding, "They do me good." My own grandmother gave me this rosary when I was a young child. Although I left it behind when I entered the convent, I looked for it in my parents' home after my mom passed away. It was exactly as I remembered it, even the unusual medal that's attached to it. Neither my siblings nor I recall praying the rosary as a family, but I have a clear memory of praying it with my grandmother. Once she took me to a prayer meeting with a bunch of older women. Maybe it was the Legion of Mary or a parish sodality, I don't know, and we prayed the rosary while sitting in a big circle on fancy old dining room chairs. I was the only child there. That prayer meeting made a big impression on me. By the time I was 5, I would tell people that I loved the Blessed Mother most of all. I don't have a lot of other memories of my grandmother, and I don't even have a photograph of her, but she planted a great love for Our Lady in my young heart. Pope Francis puts great stock in the role of grandparents, and that's what I'd like to talk about today. He writes, "How wonderful is the encouragement that an elder can bestow on a young man or woman who is searching for the meaning of life. This is the mission of grandparents. It's a real and true vocation." Our grandparents' words hold something special for the young, he continues. This is how faith is transmitted, through the witness of the elders who have made their faith the leaven of their life. During the Christmas season, we celebrate the feast of the Holy Family, traditionally understood as Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. But wouldn't it be wonderful to include Jesus' grandparents and celebrate the extended Holy Family? I found a few paintings that depict Jesus as a young child with his parents and maternal grandparents, Saints Joachim and Anne, and even one that includes Elizabeth, Zechariah, and their son John the Baptist, all Jesus' cousins. Grandparents are not the only elders who can support and encourage young people. In another document on family, Pope Francis spoke about the role of aunts, uncles, cousins, and even neighbors in the lives of young people, as well as the assistance that young people can give their elders if they are in need. In my family, we had a favorite aunt who never married and who was a teacher. I remember competing with my siblings for the privilege of sitting next to her at holiday meals because she gave us a very different kind of attention from our parents. Maybe years from now, we'll look back and see this intergenerational emphasis as one of Pope Francis's lasting contributions to the Church. What do I ask of the elders, among whom I count myself? He asked in Christus Vivit. I call us to be memory keepers. We grandfathers and grandmothers need to form a choir. I envision elders as a permanent choir of a great spiritual sanctuary where prayers of supplication and songs of praise support the larger community that works and struggles in the field of life. What can we elderly persons give to the young, he asks? We can remind today's young people who have their own blend of heroic ambitions and insecurities that a life without love is an arid life. We can tell fearful young people that anxiety about the future can be overcome. We can teach young people, sometimes so focused on themselves, that there is more joy in giving than in receiving, and that love is not only shown in words, but also in actions. Let's pray that more and more grandparents will realize what an important role they play in the family, and that they'll exercise it well. May the presence of grandparents, aunts or uncles, or other elders at your Christmas table be the source of deep joy this Christmas. Although we'll have one more video next week, I'd like to take the opportunity today, on behalf of all the little sisters and our residents, so many grandmothers and grandfathers living among us, to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. See you next week.